Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over some problems from tonight's homework for you guys to look at home. The first one that I'm doing is on page 52, and it's number 9. So it asks you on page 52 to take 13/40ths and turn it into a percent. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to divide. Remember, we use bottom out, top in. And 14 does not go into 30 at all. So remember, what we have to do is add a decimal, bring it straight up, and add a 0. Now we know that 40 goes into 130 3 times. Minus 120 is 10. I can add another 0 here because I'm still not changing the value. 13.00 is the same as 13. 40 goes into 100 2 times. Minus 80 is 20. And again, I'm going to add another 0, bring it down. 40 goes into 200 5 times. Minus 200 is 0. Now I have a decimal, but what the book is asking me for is a percent. So remember, to turn a decimal into a percent, all we do, here's our decimal, all we do to turn that into a percent is we take that decimal point and we move it over 2 places. So the answer is 32.5%. That is the answer for number 9 on page 52. Next one on page 52 as well, this is number 5. It asks you to take each decimal and write it as a percent. This is real easy. The way that we say this right here is 0 and 25, and the 5 is in the thousandths place, so it's 25 thousandths. So to write that as a fraction, we would do that. But silly me, the book is not asking us for a fraction, it's asking for a percent. So that's even easier. All we have to do is take that decimal and we have to move it over 2 places. So I'm going to grab it, I'm going to move it over 2 places. And so what I'm left with is 2.5%. Easy as pie. That's number 5. Also on page 52, this is number 15. Number 15 is asking us to turn 5/6 into a percent. So again, I'm going to divide. Remember, every fraction is a mini division problem. I'm going to divide 5/6. The bottom goes out, the top goes in. 6 doesn't go into 5, so I add a decimal. And 6 goes into 50 8 times. Minus 48 is 2. I add a 0 and bring it down. 6 goes into 23 times. Minus 18 is 2. Now this is an interesting situation because what's going to happen is, if you'll notice, 3 times 6 is always going to be 18. 20 minus 18 is always going to be 2. And 2 with a 0 added to the end of it is always going to be 20. So this decimal is going to keep on repeating forever. 3's. Okay? So the way that we deal with that is we just go ahead and we put a line over the 3, and that tells us that that's called a repeating decimal, and it will go on forever and ever and ever. 8 or 0.833333, repeating forever. So this, when we write this as a percent, all we do again is we just move our decimal over twice. So we get 83.3 with a line over it, percent. One thing you want to be careful of is you can never put that line before the decimal point. If you put it there, that's going to be wrong, because that would mean that this number was repeating forever, which would mean this was a whole number, and it's not. It's a decimal that's repeating forever. Okay, so percents can have a decimal in them, and that's okay. Last one I'm going to go over is from page 52, or I'm sorry, 51, and this is number 4, and it wants you to write 16% as a fraction in simplest form. Remember, percent means out of 100. So I can divide both the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, by 4, and I'm going to get 4 over 25. Simple as that. Hope this video is helpful for you guys. See you tomorrow.